Today, I want to give all you professional musicians, session musicians, and hired gun musicians 3 very simple steps to increase your income and your happiness using the 80-20 principle. If you're in the audio industry, you're probably not new to the fact that you do get those odd soul-sucking projects that are just unfulfilling and boring to do. Also, who can forget the projects that you seem to just be getting paid absolutely nothing for? Often the projects that you're working the hardest on and you're putting the most effort into, you're not getting paid as you should be. And everybody knows that if you're not getting paid what you think you're worth and you're not getting something out of it, what you think you should be getting for the time you're putting in, then you will be unmotivated. You will not do as good work, and in turn that will affect your business. The 80-20 principle is a very, very, very popular business technique and principle that has been used for many, many years in order to focus on the small percentage of whatever is working in your business even more than the rest of it. And this usually results in more happiness, more income, and more time. So for example now, if you are an artist or you're in a band, which most musicians are, then you will probably find that 80% of your sales or 80% of your streaming comes from 20% of your songs. So for example, if you release an EP, you probably have one standout song that's bringing in most of the streams and most of your sales. If you have an album, then you most likely have just a couple or maybe 3 at a stretch songs that are bringing in most of your streaming income. This doesn't just apply to business though, this can apply to everyday life. So for example, you may find that 80% of your happiness comes from hanging around with 20% of the people in your life, which is pretty accurate when you think about it, because you do have that small group of friends or family out of everybody you know that brings in the most of your happiness when you're around them. It's important to know though that the 80-20 principle isn't always exactly 80-20. Sometimes you'll find it 70-30 or 60-40 or even at an extreme 95-5 or 90-10. The main thing is that these add up to 100, and the thing is, the first number is the output and the second number is the input. So the 80-20 principle works as 80% of a given output comes from 20% of an input. So when I first discovered the 80-20 principle, I started trying to implement it into my business, and this resulted in me cutting out trying to approach a certain kind of client and focusing on the kind of clients that pay me the most per hour. After I implemented this, my hourly rate in my business went from around £10 an hour to around £30-35 an hour. So this made a dramatic effect and impact on my business, because then I was able to basically earn the same amount of income as I was before in much less time. And if I was to fill my time back to what it was before, which I did, then I would be earning 2 to 3, maybe even 4 times as much as I was before. So this is very important for helping you increase your income, increasing your happiness, and giving you more time. So I'm going to give you 3 steps now that's going to help you do just that. So step number 1, using the 80-20 principle, is usually you will find that 80% of your headaches, 80% of your problems in projects usually come from 20% of your clients or 20% of projects. So the first thing you need to do is write down all the problems you face during projects. Whatever your services you offer, whatever products you offer, just list the main problems that suck up most of your happiness and make you most miserable in your business. Once you've done that, you need to identify the common themes across all the times that's happened. So for example, you may find that a certain type of client is causing you to be miserable, or a certain client in particular. You may find that it's a certain type of project, so whether you're doing recording, editing, mixing, whatever you're doing, you may find that there's a certain project or task that you have to do that makes you miserable. Alternatively, it could even be something as simple as a genre of music that you don't like working on, that you just seem to be getting through quite a lot and you never enjoy working on it. It's important that you identify the common themes across all these sucky projects that you get, and then you know what to eliminate. So once you eliminate these type of projects or these type of clients that are causing you headaches and causing you stress, then you are going to have 20% more time to play around with. So you, like I said, that 20% of client or project, you need to eliminate that, and that gives you another chunk of 20% that you can then use for bigger and better things. So after the first step of increasing your happiness, step 2 is all about increasing your income. And you will most likely find that most of your income comes from a very few amount of your clients or type of projects you do. So 80% of your income comes from 20% of your clients or type of projects. So maybe you offer a certain service that's just raking it in, whereas you also offer this other service which is giving you a low hourly rate, but you still feel like you need to be doing it because you're going to get fear of missing out if you don't. Maybe there's a certain type of client that pays you more. So for example, in my business, I usually get paid more per hour if I work with somebody that runs a studio and is in it full time, rather than somebody who's a bedroom musician that needs their stuff editing. So you need to identify the types of clients or the types of projects where you're earning the highest hourly rate. Of course, you can only do this by tracking it. So maybe if you haven't been tracking this yet, or you don't have a clue about this yet, then it's time to start just tracking how long certain projects take you. Compare that to the amount you're getting for that project and work out what's getting you the biggest and best hourly rate. So now you've identified what makes you the happiest, you've identified what gets you the highest hourly income across all your projects. Step 3 is about mashing those two together. So you should have two lists, one list of the projects that make you the happiest or the projects to avoid that make you the least happy, and then another list of these types of clients or the types of services that are giving you the highest hourly rate. So now you need to find the common denominators on each list to then know what sort of projects or what sort of service to focus on in the future. Now, don't worry, you will likely find that it's a very small percentage, maybe 20-30% of your total clients that you've got at the minute. So for example, if you offer 4, 5, maybe 6 services, you may find that just 1 or 2 of your services are making you the most happy and are bringing you the most amount of income in. But don't worry, that's what niching down is all about, finding your niche and focusing on a very small percentage of your business, but also that is the percentage of your business which is making you the most happy and bringing you in the most money. So ideally, once you get rid of the rest and you focus on this small amount, you then should be able to grow your income very, very quickly and you'll be happier. This is a very ballsy and risky move, like I said, because it means letting go of your current clients, not immediately, but slowly, not trying to follow up, not trying to keep them, not trying to get new clients like that, and focusing on a new type of client or focusing on a specific service in the future that's working for you the most. You will get the fear of missing out, you will temporarily lose income, but once you focus on that one niche, that one service, that one kind of client, or maybe 2, then eventually you're going to be a lot better off for it.